Hello everybody and welcome to this playthrough for hole number 4, 5 and 6 of the TPC Sawgrass in the spooky Showdown 18-hole cup. This is a playthrough with general wins, so this is not the win you will have in the tournament. If you are looking for guides for the wins in the tournament, you scan the QR code here on the screen, or you go directly to patreon.com/goldclashtommy via the link in the description down below. So now let's go to hole number 4 to hole number 6. For hole number 4, the drive. Here we do have some headwind to dabble into. And what are we going to do? Yes, we are going to try to lay up as close to the water as possible without obviously endangering going into the water. That's not something we want to do, because then we will be in massive problem. Setting up with the rock at P0 max rest, and I'm swapping to my epoch and thorn bag. Max plus 10 is the drive adjustment using max top spin and 2 bars of right spin. Half a ball of curl, and when I'm using curl, we're either using circle drop or just before circle drop, as it's otherwise very hard to differentiate if you have overpower or not when you take your shot. You can see that I'm very conservative here, leaving myself, with a good margin when it comes to the water. But that's all accounted for. Like I said, we don't want to push it too hard. We rather want to go for consistency. And if we can get consistency, then we also have a good chance to dial in the second shot. The second shot for me, with that bumpy green and also that very sloped rough, it is going to be a backspin play, like a backdoor play, as we so funnily call it. All but one backspin and half a bar of right spin here. Here I'm aiming, favoring the right side of the cup from this view perspective. And here I'm using quite a decent amount of adjustment. It's going to be more towards the max here. Whenever you do backspin shots like this, there's usually going to be more adjustment than what you think. And the reason for that is that it's going to be a lot of things that happens once the ball hits the ground. But as per default, the general elevation for this particular type of approach shot, I would judge being 10%. And then you obviously can design it in whatever way you like. But coming back and dropping right at pin for a beautiful eagle here in hole 4. For hole number 5, let's hope that we do have a tailwind, because then we can send it. If we do not have a tailwind, we are going to have to lay up and attack the pin from distance. If you have to lay up, then be smart and lay up more favoring the left hand side of the fairway to give yourself a good angle towards the pin. 5.5 bar top spin and 2 right spin. You can see I'm having the yellow ring by the rough line. Adjust max with no elevation here on this first shot. I'm using a berserker ball to allow myself for having a lot of wind to push, obviously keeping it free to play. A little cheeky great left, but you can see as well that the intention from our end is to get this ball as close to the green possible. And now in hindsight, if we would be pushing up a little bit, if we would be having a little bit more topspin, if we would be hitting perfect, a lot of ifs, and we would possibly be onto the green. But from here, we do have a wedge towards the pin. And now, even though I missed the wedge here, I still wanted to showcase it, because it is not the easiest green. Look how much this green is going to slope once you do see me zooming in a little bit. This is almost like a max wedge, and you can see me here going with topspin. See how much this ball guideline falls here. That is not a ball guideline I would consider myself satisfied with. And the whole way onto the green slopes left to right. So for me, this is a wedge to either use just a little bit of topspin like that, or you're playing the wedge completely without spin, which is just a standard EB school. So EB school plus 20% elevation, P10 numbers, as we're using a P10 ball. And if you aren't familiar with the EB school method, I strongly advise you to get familiar with it, because it will help your wedge game immensely. Again, we're not getting this ball in the hole, but at least you understand the idea here on hole number 5. For hole number 6, this is a very interesting par 4 in my opinion. Here we can have a lot of fun if we do have a tailwind, but also if we do have a bad headwind like this, it's definitely going to be a very good chance for an eagle. Here I'm starting at P0 max rest with my Apocalypse, so I'm starting with a basic ball, then I'm using all the top spin and 2 left spin here with my Kingslayer. Now, this is probably not the strongest setup I've ever done, but as you know, as I'm just going in, doing a practice and recording the outcome, there will be some, you know, questionable type of things. But the idea with the play here in headwind is to get this ball as close to that rough line possible. Now, listen to this. If you do have a topspin boost ball, you know, it could be with whatever wind resistance, but you could get yourself in a situation where you do actually kind of triple bounce yourself onto the green. Now, I don't think that's going to be possible in headwind, but when it comes to crosswind and most especially tailwind, that's something I do definitely believe is going to be possible. But if we do not have that as a possibility, then what do? Then we are going to attack with our short iron. I like to use a little bit of left spin, or at least I'm using a little bit left spin here, leaving the ball guideline through the hole, as I do want to not go short in line. And as you will see me and hear me talk about on many of the TPC Sawgrass, especially when we are playing approach shots, I do favor to bounce on the fringe or onto the green, or at least have the first bounce there. And the reason for that is that I do feel that the fairways on most of the holes are so bumpy and so weird that it's so hard to rely on them. 10% elevation on the second shot, obviously that may differ depending on what type of play you are doing. So if a tailwind, absolutely send it. If a crosswind, maybe a topspin boost, send it. But if it is a headwind, we are most definitely going to lay up. Thank you everybody for watching this part of my hole breakdowns for the TPC Sawgrass in the spooky Showdown 18 hole cups. Make sure to check out the other parts as well. These are general hole guides. These are not the wins that you have in the tournament. If you're looking for guides and information when it comes to the wins that we do have in the tournament, in the qualifying round, and then also in the final round, you sign up on patreon.com/golfclashtommy via the QR code or via the link in the description down below. You can do that via 30-day commitment, which is the cheaper alternative, and then you do have a one-time payment you can do as well. So it doesn't matter how you want to go about it, you can sign up via that. And there we do provide the ultimate tournament text guides, best guides on the market, giving you our best advice with text guides and with videos with voiceover on how to attack the specific holes with the tournament wins in Master Division. Thank you once again for watching, and I wish you the best of luck in the spooky Showdown 18 hole cup.